night, first something, whatever. Let's just get into it. No swearing. But yeah, let's just get into it. Hey, Spiderman do be venting though. Spiderman do be venting though. He's sus.
MJ's disabled 74 compound. I need to check on her.
Banned? You're banned? Whoever wins? Whoever wins what?
Whoever wins the fight gets banned.
Whoever wins the fight?
Yeah, it's in the bar.
Gets banned from GTA? Wait, so whoever wins the fight gets banned from GTA, you're saying?
No, it's just banned from...
Oh, sir, he's gonna be here at 3 o'clock.
I remember this guy, he's so clumsy. Uh-oh!
Right in the face.
In the
In the body.
In the face.
In the rain. In the heart.
I'll punch you in the face.
I will hug
In
you.
the face.
I'll so hug you.
I'll eat your chicken nuggets.
I'll hug you.
I'll eat your chicken nuggets.
Hug you.
I'll murder you.
I'll hug you.
I will take off your head this second.
Is there... Are you actually gonna do it?
Maybe.
Then you can go to place.
What? Why do I have electricity? Abaixa. Abaixa.
Yes, mommy dearest. Trust me, this was totally insane.
Hey yo! I can finally do this. Please don't end. And I see that crime right there. Spider-Man staring straight at it. I see you guys didn't miss me. Okay, so how's about I actually can do something? Finally, now we can fucking stop it.
Really wish these guys worked the house.
Why are birds so annoying?
Man, I wish I could have
What the fuck am I hearing right now? This is a thug.
He's coming!
Oh my goodness! Are you okay?
She always does that.
Yeah, I wonder why you're launching grenades with a grenade launcher at someone. Not like that's the point of a grenade launcher.
Today's tip, one incredible Walt Disney World Resort visit. We're up discovering time.
Okay, I've watched the end more times than any one person probably should. Between scripting these videos, editing these videos, and general rewatches, I must have seen the end about 50 times. And I would like to think I know the episode inside and out. But there's always been one question at the back of my mind, and that is, where did Todd get the robot? This is a bit of a weird question, always meant to be explained away with cartoon logic. But even after addressing it in a previous video, I've never really settled on an actual conclusion. We know who Todd is, we know who the Red Leader is, we know who Paul and Patrick are, but how exactly this robot came into existence remains a mystery. And after thinking about it for some time, I realised it's because I don't actually know what's going on in Todd's head, and I don't know what he was doing during his extended hiatus. And I realised that to understand where he got this thing, we need to reach a conclusion about everything else. I don't expect to necessarily reach that conclusion by the end of this video, but I hope to at least understand what's going on a little bit better. If you're unsure as to where my confusion lies, let's go through the events chronologically as presented within the show. First, we find out that Todd is leaving in his car. He tells the gang that he is leaving to, and I quote, make it in the big city. He comes back after some amount of time letting Ed know before doing so. He spends some time in Durden Lane before he gets into his mech suit, blows up the house, tries to fly away, is shot down, and then gets retrieved by top of the hill. So we've got a pretty good idea of the chronology from Ed, Matt, and Todd's perspective. The episodes are viewed through their eyes. But what about Todd's perspective? It's never really been clear when Todd first met Paul and Patrick, when he built this robot, or when he turned evil. Some might tell you that this isn't actually the Todd that we know and love, and he's in fact a clone, but we'll be ignoring that theory today. The crux of this question, I think, lies in when exactly Todd met Paul and Patrick and when he founded the Red Army. Working that out will give us some idea of when he became evil and when this robot was built. And with that, I see three main possibilities. One, he knew them before he built the robot and left the house to take over the world. Two, he already built the robot and met them when he was away. 3, and I'll admit this is a little bit out there, he's never met them before this was on the hill. Let's start with this first answer because it seems to be the one that's most commonly accepted, one that I believe for the longest amount of time, and probably has the most evidence supporting it. Though Paul was a character before the Legacy era, he only really made his first appearance in Moving Targets, as a soldier for the generic bad guy army. This is significant because it was also the last episode that Todd was voiced by his original actor. He left at the beginning of the very next episode without even voicing it. So it is entirely possible that, after this experience, Todd decided that he wanted to be involved in whatever these guys were up to. Todd presumably met Paul and Patrick, founded the Red Army, built the robot, and then left to do something, and then came back for the robot. The real problem here is explaining why Todd left in the first place without taking the robot with him. If he already had his army together and already had plans for world domination, then why not take the robot with him? To me, the far more likely timeline is option 2. He built the robot before he left and met Paul and Patrick on his travels. In this timeline, Todd's robot was never designed to be a super weapon, but just one of Todd's weird projects. It is
Nice. Nice.
And the bike just smashes home.
Nice.
entirely possible that by the time he drove away, Todd actually had no evil intentions whatsoever. Maybe after his experience in the army, Todd realized that he didn't want to cause pain unto others. He looked at the weapons he's constructed and realized what a monster he was becoming, and decided to make a new life for himself in the big city. Maybe he wanted to go to New York to be a new man, but upon meeting a couple of revolutionaries, he decided that he was not throwing away his shot, so he became Red Leader. This makes a lot more sense in my head, because it explains what he was doing when he was away from the show, and it gives him time to have built the robot in the first place. With the first timeline, we assume that the robot was constructed sometime between moving targets and 25 feet under the seat. We know it was constructed before he left, because the robot is constantly described as something he left behind, not something he was working on between the two end episodes. But with this second theory, the robot could have been constructed any time after the first episode, potentially even before the first episode. Todd's been shown to have violent tendencies in some earlier episodes, so is it really such a surprise that he'd build a giant weapons facility behind a wall in his bedroom? Admittedly, this is a little bit far-fetched, but not quite as far-fetched as the third option, which few people seem to consider, but I actually think is the most interesting one. This meeting on the hill might just be the first time these characters met in person.
What to orders that supplementary shaker?
According to this timeline,
That's how you say mom in
this
Brazil.
moment was entirely of his own accord. He built the robot on his own. He planned to dominate the world on his own, without any help from anyone else. And it was this instant which caused him to meet Paul and Patrick and fall down the path to becoming a leader. This actually makes a lot of sense thematically. I could totally buy that Todd thought that he could become an evil dictator without any help at all. After all, what would I need friends for when I've got this? Of course, the robot wasn't actually good enough. He was defeated by none other than the group of friends, the ones that he'd previously shunned. They cared for each other enough, and together he was defeated by none other than the group of friends, the ones that he'd previously shunned. They cared for each other enough, and together they alone were able to bring down his giant mech suit. Think about how defeated and humiliated Todd would feel in this moment. His entire life's work destroyed in seconds, literally by the power of friendship. He'd built himself from nothing, and now he has nothing to show for it. He has no friends, he has no house, there's no direction, no plan from here on out. But then he meets these two people, two Revolutionaries just like him want more than they've got. They obviously have a lot of interest in weaponry. They saw the commotion from down below and rushed to see what was going on. And in this moment, Todd realizes that he can't do this alone. He feels accepted. He sees direction. He's found some friends who will actually help him to safety. They accept him and give him a ride. They show interest in whatever his plans are, and Todd is happy to tell them in the car ride home. They bond and realize that if they are going to change the world, they need to do it together.
I was doing good on the sniping part.
Okay, so there is a lot of evidence that they'd met before this moment, let's be honest. In Funded, you can see Todd's shadow whilst the other two soldiers are controlling a zombie outbreak. In the Snowgo, we only see Paul and Patrick in the aeroplane, but then 3 parachutes plane crashes. People act like this is the ultimate smoking gun and that must be Todd, but it could just as easily be anyone else who might have been on the plane. However, the plane serial number is exactly the same as Todd's car number plate. That is less easy to explain. And then there's also the Red Leader clan tag that was clearly created by Todd, and we see it all the time with Paul and Patrick.
This
That's
is
basically confirmation that these two have been working together for a long time.
That's legendary.
Still, even though there's basically no evidence supporting it, this timeline just might be part of my new headcanon. I think it's a really great way of looking at this scene and the relationship between these characters. And I hope now that you might just have a new appreciation for this stuff. A lot of information was left unshown. That means that you have the ability to create your own interpretation. Was Todd evil before he left? How long was this thing left under their house? Is the story told out of order and we have the chronology completely wrong in our heads? Is Helicard the puppet master behind the whole operation? All that is up to you to decide. It's up to you to decide how you interpret any piece of art. You can get out of it whatever you want and enjoy it however you see fit. Just so long as you do it.
I need 2 more backpacks, and then I'll be complete.
Go nuts.
2 more
Nobody's taking you out to do
backpacks.
things. So when did Todd get the robot? That's up for you to decide.
Backpacks are stupid. So are you. You're getting another legend. Thank you, buddy. You smell good, and let's be your friend. Let's be your friend. Skip.
He saw the beauty in the oceans. Every second breath we take.
1 second, what? This is
Tom's
his
parents
secret.
is one of the most baffling questions in Ed's world. Just one
Oh,
animation
why
mistake
the house on
taking up
fire?
less than 10 seconds of an episode makes it one of the most debated topics in the show's history. There's so much confusion and misinformation about such a simple topic that it may take you down a rabbit hole you didn't even know it existed.
Let's go, please, 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 I gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. This is so difficult, oh my fucking god.
It's not often we're given information about the character's heritage. We'll get a flashback every now and then, but rarely will we ever get a glimpse of the character's
Fuck!
After so many years of the show being online, you'd think that we'd at least be able to meet each character's family at some point, but we actually know very little. Sure, we've seen Matt's grandma on occasion and some of his mother, but we've never met his father, nor any of Todd's parents, nor any of Ed's parents. And then we get to Todd, who's far more complex. Now, you might be sitting there thinking that you already know all of this, that you're a real Ed head and you know everything there is to know about every character and every scene. Well, good for you. But for those of you who aren't massive nerds or who just need a quick refresher, here is a quick rundown of Tom's parenthood history. In 25 feet under the sea, Tom accidentally freed a giant squid from the Atlantis aquarium. Fearing death, he sees his entire life flash in front of him as we're treated to a montage of these bubbles. One of these bubbles gives us a glimpse of Tom's birth and a look at what appears to be be his parents, a bowling ball and a horseman. The bowling ball is implied to be his mother, with the pole necklace, and the melon with the glasses is his father. So far, so good. But things get more confusing in Funded, where we have another look at one of Tom's memories, one where his father dies at the hands of Bear. But this time, his dad is not drawn as a watermelon like in the Atlantis episode, but as a pineapple, wearing the same glasses. Right, so there's a lot to unpack here, and let's start with the most obvious question. Why are Tom's parents bizarre, inanimate objects? The answer to this is actually quite simple. They were likely created as a joke about Tom's character design. Firstly, Tom isn't drawn with a regular like the other characters. He has these two large circles where his eyes would be, and this explains Tom's mum. A bowling ball with finger holes that resembles eyes, which is a trait that Tom probably inherited. How about Tom's dad? Well, that's a little bit less easy to explain. The pineapple in Funded is probably a reference to Tom's spiky hair. Pineapples have a spiky stem, and this trait was probably carried over to Tom. But what about his first iteration, the one as a watermelon? It may have been a reference to Tom's round head as compared with the other characters. The same can be said about a bowling ball as well.
What's your name, Private? Your name is now Private Bowling Ball. Understand? Sir, I feel like a shaved bowling ball, sir.
I'm so scared.
Luckily, we have the Edswold Fan Wiki, a website owned and operated by members of the Edswold fan base with a fan model of each character. Here it says that Tom's dad was actually supposed to be a pineapple from the very beginning. It claims that the reason he was drawn as a watermelon in the Atlantis episode was only due to Ed Gould not being able to draw a pineapple. His parents are a pineapple and a bowling ball, and they always have been. The watermelon 25 feet was an animation mistake, and Tom's father was always a pineapple.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, no, not exactly. I have searched for hours to find a source for this bit of information, but nowhere on the internet
We already-
can I find a definitive.
We already know if she was banging on my door and she was screaming at my name, she was going X mode.
I've checked Twitter pages, Tumblr accounts, documentaries, and blogs, and nowhere can I find it mentioned by anyone on the Edswold team, let alone by Ed himself. I've heard people telling me this fact.
Hey, why did your mom go X mode?
Now, it was never watermelon, but
X, why did your mom go X game mode?
hearing this information and spreading it without even checking if it was correct, leading to more and more people believing it to be true, spreading this rumor further. It doesn't even make sense. You're telling me that Ed knew how to draw and animate giant squids, helicopters, tanks, ancient tombs, and giant zombie fight scenes, but didn't know how to draw a simple pineapple?
I would go full Spiderman mode on my X game mode, mom.
Okay, I never said it was good, but I can't exactly draw a helicopter either. Listen, I've tried looking for this information. I really have. But I couldn't seem to find it anywhere. Maybe Ed mentioned it on some live stream that was taken down, a Twitter post that was deleted. But I couldn't find anything that says that he couldn't draw a pineapple. But then I went deeper, and after seemingly endless scrolling and searching, I found it. I found the only official comment on this situation available through search engines. On March 25th, 2018, the Edswold Twitter page hosted this short Q&A session. One user, Taylor, left a question asking for an explanation about Tom's father, and amazingly, we actually got a reply from the Edswold Twitter page, and the response we got was this. The information about this one little detail has actually been inconsistent for years, even before Funded came and confused things. It's possible to go back through a wiki's edit history, and we can go all the way back to July 1st, 2010, on Tom's page. On the first ever version of the code,
I got the last book!
Tom's dad
Backpack! I got the last backpack! I got the last backpack! Let's go!
About 2009. But it doesn't really change anything for this.
Wait, does that mean I have the new skin?
When it started defining which
Let's go!
just something I noticed.
I have the homemade suits.
I got the whole
have to get all the backpacks to get it, I guess.
MJ's stable sets up our compound.
I like to check.
Hey, check out my stream.
The bit about the pineapple. Get their genders right. Okay. Then just after Pundit was uploaded, it was changed again to say that the
I'll
fruits
train him too.
and the pineapple was the mistake. Then only a couple months later in April, it said that the watermelon was the mistake, and his real dad was the pineapple. And it pretty much stayed like that for 2 years. July 30th, 2016, when it was edited once again to say that Edward did not know how to draw a pineapple. And that's what it's said ever since. I've messaged the guy who made the edit, but he hasn't actually been active since 2016, so I don't think I'll get a reply. And that's where we are with this whole thing. If there is a primary source of this information, then I can't find it. And for something that's so ubiquitously published as fact, I think that would be a little bit easier to find. I think the take-home message today is this. Never trust anything you read on the internet, including anything that you hear. It just takes one bit.
Please.
Truth to be lost. You know that one scene in the documentary where it goes on? I've heard time and time again from sources that I know and respect that the bit where he fiddles the button with him, that the
What's the
explanation was supposed to
overdrive
go straight away,
trophy?
and when it didn't, Heath Ledger decided to fiddle with the button on set before jumping onto the bus. But that is a lie. There's a documentary where Christopher Nolan, the director himself, talks through the scene and explains that everything was rehearsed endlessly and meticulously planned in advance. Nothing here was unscripted. And I'd heard this myth
Let's go.
before.
10 vehicle takedowns.
So I decided to check it. That's what this is. So many people talk about this myth about his dad being kind of long and Ed's inability to draw pineapples without and why would they? It's such a random conspicuous piece of information amongst so many other random pieces of information. Life's just easier if you use the correct answer to be the one which requires the fewest assumptions. As such, the correct answer to this problem is likely a lot more simple. The animators probably thought that would make more sense for this throwaway joke character to be a pineapple rather than a watermelon. It completes the joke about Tom's character design in 25 feet, so they just use a little bit of retroactive continuity. Either that or it was simply an error. The writers and animators probably remembered it.
Acho bem baixinho, a mulher dela da casa não tem. Mateus, não olha pra você, tá? Não responde porque eu tô hoje.
There are other possibilities. A lot of people seem to think that the melon might actually be a doctor, but we also see a nurse carrying a box. It's not like this hospital full of doctors and stuff. It could also be a grandparent or an uncle or something. But that just raises the question about the whereabouts of them.
Okay. Okay, guys, I guess I gotta do. What? How many more times am I? 2 more task masters. Let's go. I am so fucking tired of this.
You know I'm not one to quote conspiracy theories, except ones I think are worthy of further discussion, like this one. I heard reports of Spiderman hovering around radio towers. First, I thought he was sabotaging, but a far more alarming possibility came to mind. In his misguided delusion that he is so technical, is he hacking into all our conversations? Business, credit card transactions, those personal calls with the wife on a long, lonely book tour. I mean, when one is on a book tour, I wasn't talking about myself. I don't do that sort of thing. Anyone who thinks they have recordings of me doing it is...
All units, we have a vehicle chase in progress. Reported location is Nolita.
lunatics will kill someone driving like that.
All over you, nut job. Back off, we'll blow you away.
Well, at least you're not texting.
Spiderman! To the next fist.
Well, that's just rude. Yes. Better check up on MJ in Central Park.
Spider-Man! I need a minute! Look, I know you've been hacking into our crime system towers.
Wasn't me. I mean, what towers?
I don't mind. In fact, I need your help. I think someone's jamming the system, and they must be using multiple jammers to cover the full frequency range. Could you take a look? If you help, I promise I won't tell anyone you're hacking us.
I prefer to call it sharing, but sure. The jammers emit a signal I can detect. Just need to swing through the financial district and hunt for a signal. Found a signal. Just need to follow it. Jamming devices work better at higher elevations. I bet the strongest signals would be on rooftops. Fisk's men. This is my shock face.
You don't mess with the kingpin and live. We can't let him beat us. Watch this high.
just need to get rid of the jammer. Gotta smash it. Sometimes breaking stuff is the answer. And it's fun, too. I just took out a jamming device. That do anything?
No, but like I said, there's probably a bunch of them.
Makes sense. I'll track them down. I wonder if Fisk's men had anything to do with the system going down in the first place. I'm gonna guess these guys aren't here to tan. Sleep it off. I heard that. You literally didn't see that coming. Gotta take out the jamming device. Job's not done. Shoddy workmanship.
Spider-Man, it's working. I'm starting to get a weak signal. It's garbled, but I picked up something about Fisk and outfits.
Fisk was the kingpin of crime, but he didn't deal in knockoff fashion. The sooner the system is fixed, the sooner we know what they're planning. Only one jammer left.
Why we need these jammers? I thought our guy on the inside disabled all the crime towers.
Someone's been reacting. We can't risk anyone seeing what we're up to.
Found you.
Yo, there he is! Spider.
I guess they lost me.
On! Why so shy? I've got you.
Sup.
Longer it takes me to find you, longer it takes you to die.
What tall buildings in the district haven't I checked yet? For it to still be working, this last jamming device has to be up on a high rooftop.
Big mistake.
What's the matter? Scared?
Keep it up! Yo, there he is!
Okay, back to Sneaky Spider.
Big mistake.
Got something over there. Show yourself.
Nothing's just... This rooftop's clean. Well, by New York standards. There's still a few rooftops I haven't tried. There's still a few rooftops I haven't tried. Gotta look for something out of the ordinary. What tall buildings in the district haven't I checked yet? And I lost him. For it, this rooftop's emptier than my bank account.
Yo, there he is! Eat that! Down! Come on, bring him down already!
Now I just need to wreck the jammer. Okay, that's the last of them. The system should be back online.
Spider-Man, the crime system's working again.
Great! Any more info on Fisk's men or those outfits?
No, but the system's reporting unauthorized activity down by the docks. I'm sending coordinates now.
I'll check it out. Gotta get to the docks before they escape.
You think everything's a sign that you give up acting and get a real job? It's time.
I gotta move. Come on.
You'll notice that the radioactive material that
No.
carrying has the
So,
ability to turn those chemicals are actually implied to be the catalyst for the explosion. We see the Red Army as zombies, but the news refers to them as vigilantes. As in heroes. But this makes no sense. Whole country controlled were the ones who were carrying this toxic waste to begin with. If anything, the plan was to create zombies, but now they were attempting to control them. Why would the news think that these guys were heroes? Unless that's what they wanted them to think. Maybe the plan all along was to start a zombie apocalypse and pretend to be the ones to save the day. If they were able to control the outbreak in such a way that they could bring a peaceful end to it, then they would be the saviors of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Creating a problem and then selling the solution. That's the Apple way of doing things. They're doing pretty well at this. And once the Red Army are known as heroes, they could use their influence and respect to bring the position of power. This was also
Oh, motherfucker.
that giant octopus thing and then pretending to be a hero so everyone picked it. Now, you may ask what the Red Army has that the regular army doesn't. And the answer to that is that the Red Army have a giant robots.
Okay, now let's... What you say? Is your mommy in your game go X game mode?
And then pretending to save the world from zombies. And again, there are other things that the Red Army could be in trust. Something bigger than a
The awesome finisher though.
Say, for example, a monster. The things that the Red Army could be in trust. Something bigger than a whole load of zombies. Say, for example, a monster.
Hey, what do you think I should eat when I'm with my dad? Like what restaurant? Wendy's? McDonald's?
Yeah. Yeah, but I was thinking McDonald's.
Or should I do a really... Or should I go to Taco Bell, get a burrito, and fill it with 6 packets of spice and eat it?
No. No.
Good one.
MJ's at Sable's Central Park compound. I need to check on her.
Good one. Sim. Agora eu vou te falar alto de novo. Why are you sus? Of course.
Deleted from YouTube, and I don't just mean it's been unlisted either. It was set to private, so even if you have a link to the original upload, it is only visible by the channel creator. All that remains is this unofficial re-upload of one of the most iconic fan creations in Ezworld history. So what happened? I was in complete shock when I heard about this episode's deletion. Best of Both Worlds is easily one of the most popular Edgeworld related things to ever come out of the fan base. One person in my own comment section even called it their favourite Edgeworld episode, although they did get the name wrong. That's how faithful of an episode this is. Even if you don't particularly love it, you can't deny the widespread appeal that this episode has had. And if you're an Edgeworld fan, I'm sure that you already know what it is. To understand why this episode was deleted, we need to go back to the beginning. And along the way, we might just cover what this video's deletion means for the Edgeworld community, diversity and representation in the media, and the future of Edgeworld itself. If you've not yet heard of Best of Both Worlds, it was an animated episode from the team working on the Edgeworld fan movie, and it was made in the style of your typical Edgeworld episode. The 10-minute long animation sees the Edgeworld gang enter the gender-flipped Mirrorverse from Mirror Mill, and they end up meeting their female counterparts. They interact with each other, get into trouble, and generally just goof around until the episode ends. Matt and Matilda go shopping to give Matt a makeover, Tom and Tamara become roommates, and Ed and Elle have this whole romance subplot. It's basically your typical Edgeworld fanfiction, but it is notable for the lengths it went to be as high quality and as loyal to the show's style as possible. Each voice actor nails their original character perfectly, and they even managed to get Ed's sister, Vicky Gould, to voice her character. The animation was also extremely faithful to the show, and in general there's a level of professionalism which is hard to come by in other fan projects. It has this professional feel because it came from a very professional team. The Edgeworld fan movie project has been around since at least 2013, and it was set up with the goal of creating a full-length Edgeworld movie. It was originally planned to release sometime around 2014, but that date's been pushed back by several years for a number of reasons. The history of the Edgeworld fan movie is incredibly complicated and a story for another time. For now though, you just need to know that the movie was being written and directed by Mark Lavallo, but due to internal conflict and creative differences, he has since stepped down, and the project is now being managed by Neil and his assistant director, Colin. When Mark was in charge, the channel was making these animated shorts, minisodes, alongside the creation of the movie. They were successful and helped tide the fans over between updates for the full film, but none was as ambitious as Best of Both Worlds. It was much longer and it had a proper storyline, something you could call a full episode, and when it released, it became popular. Very popular. It's hard to say exactly how many views it had, but to my recollection, it had at least on par with the numbers in some official Edgeworld videos. To put it in perspective, a video just listing some of the references and Easter egg in that episode has 1.7 views right now. And my own video on the same topic, released a couple months later, has around 100,000.
Let's go, please, please.
I'm making Easter egg related videos.
Oh, come on.
My video was better though. Not only was this episode popular, it was also incredibly faithful to the show. One could say a little too. Like I said, there were no doubt some who genuinely thought that Best of Both Worlds was an official creation, as opposed to the fan-made endeavour it actually is. This isn't anything unique. You'd be surprised at how many people think that the end was the last thing that Edgeworld worked on. Being on the internet has taught me to just never assume that fans know this stuff. This authenticity is probably why they later had to put this little graphic in the corner of the video. I'm pretty sure they actually got into some hot water because of how convincing it looked. I vaguely remember this vlog that was uploaded and then later deleted. I recall the director at the time mentioning that they didn't really have permission to make the minisodes. This was at the time between Mark and Leo, a guy called John Lopez was briefly the director. I think they deleted the update because it was inaccurate after Pivot took over. I do remember John specifically mentioned that Matt hadn't given his blessing before minisodes, so they were going to stop making them, including the ones they already had in production. This might have changed by now, I can't be certain. Like I said, the Edgeworld fan movie has a very, very complicated history, but none of this is what best of both worlds was deleted. It had nothing to do with authenticity or clout. This episode was deleted because it wasn't very good. Okay, that's a bit mean. I actually do enjoy this episode a lot, but it is kind of true. While yes, the episode was incredibly popular, it was never without its criticisms. One YouTuber that I've mentioned in the past who made a great critique of this episode is Riley Levine. The video is a little bit outdated now in regards to what the two are actually doing at the moment, but the criticisms of the episode are still entirely valid. As much as I like this episode, it is far from perfect. The comedy is a bit slow, the dialogue is a bit weak, and the story could have been executed a lot better in some places. There was particular criticism about some of the romance in the episode, and the director received a lot of hate for creating a relationship between some characters where there perhaps shouldn't have been. You might think that I'm being harsh, but there was particular criticism about some of the romance in the episode, and the director received a lot of hate for creating a relationship between some characters where there perhaps shouldn't have been. You might think that I'm being harsh, but this isn't just my opinion. It's a sentiment shared by the current director of the Edgeworld fan movie. When asked about this episode's deletion on Discord, Pip gave this explanation. My biggest issue with Best of Both Worlds, and you can imagine this, is that the writing for it was a
E eu não vou montar isso. E você fala que eu faço toda bagunça?
Não, é barulho, não quero que faz barulho.
As much as I love Mark, he handled that fanisode very poorly. And now that I'm rewriting the script, I don't want Best of Both Worlds to be what the fans expect from us. And honestly, it was a shame the ship finally gets, and I hated it so much. LOL. LOL indeed, Pip. LOL indeed. Now listen, if you liked the episode, then that is completely fine. I like this episode as well. I sure as hell would be proud if I'd made it. I'm not going to stop you from enjoying it. But as of right now, the director sees it as a very poor representation of what the full movie is going to be. It'd be like showing someone the Lego Star Wars game and saying, yes, this is what A New Hope looks like. So if you never liked this episode to begin with, and that may be a lot of you, you can expect something very different from the Edgeworld fan movie going forward. You might just be pleasantly surprised when it does release. Although with all this said, I think that this raises one more question. Why did this episode do as well as it did? Why this episode, with all of its janky story and imperfect dialogue? There are a number of reasons, I believe, and part of it is the level in which it mimics Edgeworld. Even if Pip thinks it wasn't a good representation of the show, there is no denying that something about the animation and voice acting was very authentic. And I still do think that the writing did feel a lot like older episodes at some points. It had also been about a year since Edgeworld had stopped making videos, and the fans were definitely feeling some level of withdrawal and nostalgia for the show. This episode definitely came at a time when people really wanted to see it. This episode was always going to be popular. It's well put together, and it comes from a very high-profile place in the community. I am not surprised that it became popular, but I do believe that there is one more reason that this episode in particular did so well. One reason that so many people loved and connected with this piece of animation. And to me, that reason is both strikingly obvious and blindingly obvious. Female audience. As you'd expect, about 50% of the people who watch the show are women. Looking at the audience figures for my own videos, the numbers are very in the middle. On average, there's maybe a greater male audience on a typical video, but it's not by that much. Yet, with this massive demographic, how many memorable female characters are there in this show? Very, very few. Basically, every recurring character in the show is male. And that's understandable. The main characters are based on real people, but so very often we have entire episodes with an only male voice cast. The grand finale of the show, for example, other than a scream from an unnamed woman, an old lady being voiced by a man, and a glorified iPad, there are no voiced women characters. And that is a trend which is surprisingly common with Edgeworld episodes. I think that Best of Both Worlds did as well as it did because it was a great showcase of some of Edgeworld's most memorable female characters. Looking at the analytics on my own video again, nearly 2/3 of people who clicked on it were female. That is an insane difference. Only a handful of my videos have such an imbalance, and they are very unusual for having audience figures like that. Even on the official upload of Mirror Mirror, the number of likes on that video is much higher than episodes with a similar view count. That's more than 25,000 more likes on a video with nearly 2 million viewer views. That is insane. Mirror Mirror is an important episode because it gave a huge number of people memorable characters that they can more easily relate to. Characters that they can latch onto. And that's not even mentioning the cosplay potential for so many fans who, up until that point, had no one to dress up as. Representation matters. It is important that we have stories that we can see ourselves in. And just to be clear, I do not want the people working on the Edgeworld fan movie to just chuck in some token girl character because they feel they have some obligation to do so. They don't. If you think your story is best told with a predominantly male cast, tell it the way you know how to tell it. But all things considered, I do think that Best of Both Worlds struck a chord with a lot of people. And though I don't think the episode was popular because it's about girls, I do think it became as incredibly popular as it did because it explored these great characters that once felt underdeveloped. Mirror Mirror brought these designs to life. Best of Both Worlds gave them character and purpose. And I believe that the Edgeworld team has all this in mind. It wasn't too long ago that Matt expressed an interest in telling more gender-flipped stories. And in fact, they are still making illustrations for Instagram and Twitter. Why not make a few gender-flipped illustrations? I'm sure that a lot of people would be more than happy to see those characters again. I honestly think it's a shame that Best of Both Worlds was deleted. It's understandable. It may not be the perfect episode, but it made a lot of people happy. Myself. If you still really want to see it, then like I said, it has been rebooted onto YouTube. It is completely watchable, just know that the Edgeworld fan movie aren't getting any money from it. Plus, it won't be a full representation of what the team has in mind for the future. I personally cannot wait to see how this movie turns out. But if what we've seen from this new crew so far is any indication, I'm sure it will be fantastic.
Let's go, please.
Not gonna lie.
Let's go. Finally. Why the fuck is there a statue of a pug here? Wait. There are tokens. Wait a minute.
expressed grave concern about the risk to civil liberties posed by the police department's crime system and their officers and powers. But at least the intention is to stop crimes. Recently, Spiderman.
One more location should give me the data I need to find Black Cat. On my rough estimate, she's got about 49 million in loot. I'll reach her before she gets to 50 and she might go straight. There you go. That's the gallery where they keep the Jade Tiger. That's worth a cool million.
Let me get one thing straight. I love the end.
Found her hiding. Gotta get there before she leaves town.
As I've said before, I think it's one of the greatest episodes in Edgeworld history, and if the show needed an ending,
there's no way
this
I'm
is the
seeing this.
episode delivered in spades. Whether or not this is a true finale is debatable, but I think it did a good job of wrapping everything up as it was written to do so. However, not everybody agrees with this sentiment. For one reason or another, the end has been criticised and deconstructed as a flawed piece of work, and considering it is arguably the most important episode to ever release, that is entirely understandable. So today, I thought we could imagine a version of the episode with these ideas considered, and think of a better way to end the show. Let's take the episode and some of the criticisms and use them to build a better finale to Edgeworld. This all comes from a place of love. Look at one of my favourite episodes to realise any untapped potential. It's fitting that we start with perhaps the most common criticism of the episode and arguably one of its most underlying flaws, the lack of Ed. Sure, there are other protagonists, but if you ask most people, they will tell you that Ed is the main character of Ed's world. Tom is a perfectly fine character to rival with Ford, arguably the two most violent and often hate-filled characters make an actual pairing. However, Ed and Ford are no strangers to rivalry either, and in the past it could also be kind of funny.
So what? Looking for in the kitchen? No, I was the last piece of the house. Last piece? I'll kill you!
It's never really explained why Todd and Tom hate each other as much as they do in this episode. There was obvious disdain for each other in older episodes, but that could really be said about any two of the characters at the time.
Oh, it wouldn't have, but, timelines and paradoxes and stuff.
Ouch, that looks painful.
So, if rather than a blind hatred between red and blue, we were to focus the episode to Ed's perspective and rework the story to give all the characters their own role. In this scenario, Todd enters the house and the boys are surprised but welcoming of his return. The four of them actually get along well at first, but Ed starts to think there's something more devious afoot. Imagine that Todd keeps on slinking off to the shadows to work on his robot, and Ed gets all skeptical of his actual motives. When they go off to the different set pieces, Todd steals some alien technology or Atlantic ruins or something, just to go back into hiding, and Ed gets more and more suspicious. But when Ed tries to confront the other guys about it, they just dismiss it and tell him that they like having Todd around, and Ed should stop trying to kill their fun. A conspiracy touching the trust of friendship is way more fun than Ed watching as Todd gets the target out of him. And if you ask me, focus on Ed would make the whole thing feel a lot more momentous as well, more heroic, and it could actually allow the other characters to shine. Powerhead, for example, is a much better story with Ed as the main character and Tom and Matt as side characters. Same goes for the lunatics, with Ed as the detective, Tom as the sheriff, and Matt as the prince. They all add to the story in their own way, and it wouldn't be as good if the roles were switched around. I really think something similar could have been done here. Allow Ed to have the spotlight with Matt and Tom adding to the conflict and their comedy in their own way. Beyond that, I think just the whole trust in the sea narrative would make the rivalry a whole lot more enjoyable and less frustrating.
Could it?
Another thing that I found a tad frustrating was the lack of
this
explanation for why
dope.
this was going on. That last scene with Paul and Patrick coming towards Slade in this quiet and somber moment is fantastically done, but to a lot of outsiders, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Nowadays, Red Leader and the Red Army are common knowledge, and I understand why this scene happens, but back when this episode came out, I was extremely confused by the whole situation. The bad guy was of course hinted with a series-long soft arc, but motives and reasoning are completely left out and unexplored. I made my own Red Leader video from a place of confusion. It's something I wish was explained to me in a way that was more clear, rather than relying on small Easter eggs and fan theories and fans who piece together a bigger picture. Saying that out loud, I think it was a pretty interesting idea, keeping everything secretive. A layer of mystery is always a lot of fun, and it has led to a lot more fan theories and the such, which I really do love exploring. So really, it wasn't a bad idea on paper, but still, Tor's villainy seemed more shallow than anything. I can see a world where Tor has his whole villain speech, where he stands in front of the main character and gives some tragic or interesting backstory, or at least a motivation for turning evil. Maybe he was pushed around so much that he just had this craving for revenge. He could talk about how he rose through the ranks of Paul's organization to become a leader, and how he's ready to enact his lifelong dream of world domination. Think about how much fun that could be. But instead, we've got this.
I thought we were friends! No! What would I need friends for when I've got this? I'm unstoppable!
Again, nothing wrong with that specifically, but I see a whole lot of missed story potential here. Okay, so on the one hand, the robot thing is pretty neat. There's nothing quite like a large live mech battle to create drama and bring scale to any actions. I actually have no issue with the robot existing. There's been far weirder stuff in this show.
Wasn't this just about talking why the
So here's the storyline as framed in the episode.
like
Ford spent God knows how long building this giant flying mech suit. Then
wasn't it just talking about
for
that?
several years, and then comes back for the robot.
And now it's just talking about all
Why
this
does he do
nonsense.
any of that? None of it is explained.
Sheesh, no, it's spamming.
Now's my chance to grab the glove. Huh. Wish I'd done that well in school.
The suit? Yep. Challenge finder. Let's go. Now I can celebrate. Hooray! Hooray! Everything is complete, and now I don't have to buy. Never mind. John, but that master is back. Okay, fuck you. First of all.
How about a refresher course?
Did they just steal my web kick? That's what you get.
I'm not trying to kill you.
Here, I thought you were learning.
This rock is incapacitated.
You can take that seriously, or you can die.
He literally took my finisher.
Keep this up and you're not gonna like my teacher evaluation.
I get paid for results, and I always give them.
If you're such a fan, why don't you come fight with me?
I don't work charity cases.
Who's out, Taskmaster? Why are you stalking me?
The organization hired me to see if it was worth your crew.
I'd rather be Jonah Jameson's foot masseur than work for anyone who'd hire you.
Your loss. They pay 6 figures. Guess some people just deserve to be poor.
6 figures? Nah.
So, I just want to understand what the fuck happened there. Cause I don't fucking know either.
I'm not a fan of puppet theory, but I'm a nagging view. Someone else is pulling with the strings. Something terrible is going down. The entire town freaking Yankee and all that drink. I can't sit idly, no, I can't move at all. I curse the name, the one behind it all. Discord, I'm howling at the moon. I'm sleeping in the midst of a summer afternoon. Discord, whatever did we do to make you take your world away? Discord, I'll feel for your love. For all we do, that makes us the same kind of song. Discord, we won't take it anymore. So take it here in your way. Discord, Discord, I'm howling at the moon. I'm sleeping in the midst of a summer afternoon. Discord, whatever did we do to make you take your world away? Discord, I'll feel for your love. For all we do, that makes us the same kind of song. Take it anymore. So take it here in your way. Discord, we won't take it anymore. So take it here in your way. Discord, I'm howling at the moon. Discord, I'm howling at the moon, sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. Discord, whatever do we do to make you take your world away? Discord, are we afraid of love, or are we doing something so we're taking back the throne? Discord, we won't take it anymore, so take your tyranny away.
Yay! Found it!
Found what?
My magic mirror!
You still have that? I'd probably get rid of that if I were you.
Anything that shows my beautiful face to me is not worth getting rid of.
What's going on here? Guys? Does anything seem different today? No. Why? Never mind. What the... Matilda, you still have that mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Matilda, you know what happened last time. And besides, you have enough to fill a museum if you wanted to.
I have one.
I'm gonna go make some snacks. Wait a minute, do you hear me? Do you? Oh, mic isn't even connected. Wow. Ooh.
Hello.
Hello. Just came back. Yeah.
This station's simple, really important. It measures toxins in the air, way more sensitive than anything the city.
So anyway, I got some new suits. I got this suit, this suit, this suit, this suit.
Cass, bad air hits children and the elderly first. This was a big one for my mom.
If his data is... There's way too much in the air. I have a Spidey...